Hi everyone, my name is Clarissa Moon, and today I am here with an incredible performer. She's in the national tour of Wicked as an ensemble member and the understudy for Glinda. Please welcome Jennafer Newberry. Hey Jennafer!
Hi, Clarissa.
What was your audition process like?
This audition process was very interesting. I found out on Thursday that they wanted to see me on Friday. Then I found out that they wanted to see me on Tuesday to come back and dance. So I got a call back. And then on Wednesday at noon, I got a call from my manager saying that I had gotten an offer.
What is that rehearsal process like?
I joined the tour in Denver. So I found out on that Wednesday, and then I flew out on Saturday and started rehearsals on Sunday. And then I learned the show in about a week and a half. And then I ended up debuting in Seattle, which was the next city.
So after that week of rehearsals in Denver, what was your first performance like?
It was just surreal, and I was standing back there and the overture started and the curtain was about to go up, and I was just like, I have to hold it together, because it was just this culmination of like hard work and dreams coming true, and it was right there in front of me, and I was just like, what is happening? I'm in Wicked.
So then what was that first performance as Glinda like?
Oh my goodness. That first performance as Glinda was crazy. So I did my put-in, and then about 2 weeks later, I got a text from my stage manager saying, hey, you want to make your Glinda debut today? And I was like, yes, I do. I had never acted with Marianne Torres, who was our Elphaba. So literally going out and doing the quick fight call that we do before the show was like the first time that I was like, hey, we're gonna be best friends in like a couple hours. I mean, it was crazy. It was I had the same experience when I was like up in the bubble. I had no words for it, but I was trying not to cry, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be great. And I'm like, okay, don't drop your wand, because that thing's really heavy.
What is it like to wear those costumes?
Oh my gosh, those costumes are incredible. You grow up watching these beautiful costumes, this iconic blue, like Dior-esque dress, and this beautiful pink dress, and the flower, and just like every costume, you're just like, oh my gosh, I get to wear that. I think that wearing that bubble dress is so overwhelming that you don't even feel the weight of it when you first start. Like, I was like, well, it's not that difficult to walk in. And then for the bows at the end, when they open and you run downstage, you're like, oh, okay, now I feel the 13 pounds of sequins on my body. Okay.
What does it feel like to be inside the bubble?
The bubble is so fun. You're up and you get to just see like the entire audience. It's so cool. That too is super iconic. And our bubble that we travel with on tour is the bubble that Kristen Chenoweth came in on for the Tonys. And just to think of all the iconic women who've like ridden in that bubble. Megan Hilty, Kendra Kassenbaum, just tons of amazingly talented women have been in that bubble. And I'm like, oh wow.
What would people be surprised to know about being in the national tour of Wicked?
Well, I think that people would be surprised because they don't know that oftentimes it is us, running around and taking in the culture of each city. But we also usually have rehearsals. We're allowed to have, I think, between 10 to 12 hours of rehearsal a week. So we'll have brush-up rehearsals, understudy rehearsals, put-ins, things like that, and those all count. So it's not just like 8 shows a week. We're kind of always working. Our creative team comes in. That's what I love about Wicked, is that these people who were there with the original cast on Broadway are still coming out to our show and checking in and giving us notes, and we're still working together. So it's never just something that's like, it's been running for 16 years. You don't need it. We're always working to make it better.
What is stage dooring like?
Every show will say this, but Wicked actually does have the most amazing fans. And we have people who are just like very loyal to the show and come every other city. Stage touring is just really fun because we get to have, an interaction with the people that we just did the show for.
From the shows I've seen, the audiences are always crazy awesome.
Oh, yes. We have had some incredible audiences. I'll never forget the audience that we had in Madison, Wisconsin. It was the day after Broadway closed, and we got to do the matinee and the evening show that day. And that evening show was so crazy. We knew that Broadway had closed, we knew that Disney had closed, and we were just like, oh my gosh, like we are the only production of Wicked doing Wicked right now in the world. And curtain went up and the entire audience just erupted in applause. And like immediately me and two of the other girls in the cast were just like and the whole opening started, and we were doing the opening and we were just looking at each other and we were all just like squeezing each other's hands and trying not to cry because it was so powerful.
So before you were even a part of the show, what was your relationship to Wicked like?
I'm going to tell you a story that I have not told anyone yet, actually. Me and my mom were cleaning out my childhood bedroom a few weeks ago, and we found this envelope with this, like a ton of papers in it. And I was like, what is this? I had completely forgotten that right after the show opened, Wicked held an online competition. You could sing any of this show's songs. You submitted them online. You had to make it to the final however many, and then it was based on peer votes. Well, apparently I wore a little pink dress and I recorded Popular, I believe, what I would give to have that footage. I don't know where it is. And stood in my house in Houston, Texas, and was just like, Popular. And I made it into the top 10. And if you won like some amount of money, you won a trip to New York, and you won like a walk-on role in the show. Now, I didn't win overall, but I was like, when I found this envelope, I was like, oh my gosh, like that is crazy. And then however many years later, 15 years later, I'm in the show. So like just a full circle moment. It's just incredible to see how far it goes in your life. And the show has been a part of so many people's lives for, now almost 17 plus years. And now I get to say I'm a part of it and I'm a part of its history. And that's mind blowing to me.
Well, Jennafer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
This has been Clarissa Moon Talks to the Stars. See you later.